All right. How's everybody doing tonight? It's good to see you all on here. My name is Frank Filipponi. I'm happy to be hosting this call this evening. So tonight we've tried to gather all of our friends that we know that are entrepreneurs out there. My wife and myself like to think of ourselves as entrepreneurs. I've got no college education. I was, born and raised out in San Diego and just kind of went into the workforce as a road construction guy. That's when I met my wife. She was fresh out of USC with a giant student loan and a fresh Pilates. Sorry, I'm going to turn on some light there so you guys can see me. And a Pilates certification. And a decision was put in front of us. Does she go work for somebody else, or do we, borrow money, get into our savings and, kind of beg and get our own business running for her, because that's what we knew was actually going to make us the most amount of money. So we decided, rather than her going out into the workforce, we opened up our own Pilates studio, went into huge debt, and basically we're just kind of flying by the seat of our pants. We had no idea what we were doing. We had no mentors. We had no system. We basically had to do everything from the ground up. And it really wasn't like we weren't prepared for it, I guess you'd say. Because nobody had ever taught us what it was like to start a business. So, fast forward a handful of years later, and we had a few Pilates studios at this time. We were, still in debt, but we were starting to get our system down. And we got to the point where we had gone through lawsuits. We had employees start things on fire inside of our place, and floods, and people not showing up for classes, no instructors showing up. And, anytime you wanted to go on a vacation, it was basically we had to pay ourselves double to leave our business behind, because if we weren't there working it, we weren't really making any money. And we were kind of at the point where, if you're an entrepreneur, I'm sure you've heard it, but we owned our business, but realistically our business owned us. So that's when we started looking for something else, something to subsidize what we were doing. We had 3 small kids and just no time to spend with them. And that's when we found this industry. So, if you guys just give us a few minutes tonight, I've got my good buddy and my partner on tonight, who's going to explain the project that we're working on, that now after 3.5 years of working together, we've got massive company momentum. We've got our system in place. We've got the kinks worked out. And most of it is because of this gentleman right here. I'm just happy to be partnered with him. We got to walk into a business that already had all of the hard stuff done. And in the 3.5 years we've been here, we've turned what we've created into something very, very big. So I'm not going to talk too much more. I'm going to get out of the way, because there's someone who I very much respect that came on tonight. He's leading the charge with us here at Q Sciences. He's a mentor of mine. And also, I'm just proud to say he's one of my best friends. He's my golf partner, and I talk to him probably 10 times a day. And I would love for you guys to hear how he's helped me and a ton of other people just have really, really good success here with Q Sciences. So, Mr. Spencer, please, can you take it away?
I can, brother. I believe I'm unmuted. Can you hear me okay?
100%.
All right, sir. If you can make sure that I do have some control to do a screen share, that would be appreciated.
You should be good. I made you co-host. Hopefully you don't have any problems.
All right. Well, thank you, man. And you're looking good. I'm excited to see or to hear how your guys' trip to Texas works out. I'll be heading to New Orleans in the morning. So I'm excited you guys are all here. Congratulations for all the people who are already partners and what they're experiencing in our company on a domestic level and also on a global one. We had a very interesting day today as we decided to really spur up some of the income that we pay out to our partners with some incredible things that we have incentivized going into the holiday season. And I just want to thank you all for being on here. My name is Jake Spencer. I'm currently in Bluffdale, Utah. That's roughly 20 minutes south of Salt Lake City. Our corporate headquarters, which you're going to see here in a second, is in Pleasant Grove, which is 20 minutes south of where I'm located. We're experiencing like late fall weather, which I'm excited for many of you who are actually coming into my lodge next week. It's going to be super cold, so hopefully you guys are planning accordingly because for our next week's event. But as promised, as I talked to some men last night and people over the last week, as they had found out that I was doing this favor, I guess, for Frank. I usually don't present the opportunity at Q Sciences anymore, as I've done this for, I guess, quite some time. I've got a lot of gray hair. As you can see, I don't look as good as Frank. I'm quite a bit bigger, and I'm quite a bit tougher, though, so that's all that matters. I got to tell you, I want to let you know, if you're brand new to Q Sciences, welcome, but if you're not, this may be a little bit of a different presentation for you, as I'm not going to be presenting it in the terms or the way that I first encountered the opportunity at 21. Because at 21 years old, I didn't even have a couple $100s to even start a company. Ultimately, why I ended up finding the money to do it, but it was a lot of different reasons as to why I was interested or I had success. I was not married then. I did not have children. And so a lot of the part-time, spare time mentorship that I received and the systems that were in place, it was some of the reasons why I believe that we had tremendous success. However, what I was asked to do tonight was maybe allow you into more of a boardroom setting. If you were in the board with myself and my partner, the other owner of Q Sciences, maybe our legal team, and maybe some of you, if you wanted to be a fly on the wall. So maybe here's some of the other reasons why some of the things that we do are happening. Maybe even tonight talk about some of the logistical things that we have planned as to why we're able to operate the way that we are. But then also maybe some of the future plans that we have to cap off the year of 2021, but also some of the first quarter plans of 2022 to let you kind of know maybe of a plan if this is something that you have interest in. So I just want to let you kind of know that, because some of you have seen or heard me present the opportunity, whether it was a few weeks back for the company after the launch of our collagen product, or you've been in the corporate office where you've had friends come in and we've had conversations about Q. This might be a little bit different tonight, but you may learn something and might pique your interest, as what I have found. Usually the people who already have businesses or maybe a little bit are financially set or have had that experience are usually the ones who kind of see this first. And the presentations are quite short because there's conceptual things that they easily check off the box before they actually get started. So I'm going to come down here. I am not a tech person. My team is not with me tonight because they're home and I'm in my home. So forgive me if I'm a little slow. A lot of people will talk about the timing in business and all those different things. I'm not going to talk to you about that. I just want to talk to you a little bit about maybe some of the plan and vision that we had when we went into this. It's easily known and it's very well researched. We've been a health and wellness company since the inception of when my partner started the company. And what I want you guys obviously to know is we take a different approach to what the health and wellness side does from a business perspective. From the business side of things, as you know, with technology and things in the business world, things evolve and they move extremely quick. If you're not researching, if you're not adapting, if you're not constantly looking for avenues to increase absorption, increase what you can actually give people, and actually keep it at a competitive price, you're probably going to be priced out of the market extremely quick. So you wanted me to mute him, bud? Is that why you're looking at me? It's Tom Morrill is the guy who's not muted. So anyway, let me go back to this because I'm skipping ahead because good buddy Tom here. The reality is we take a different approach, and this is extremely important to you because when we looked at creating something that you as a business owner or you as an entrepreneur would want to be hitching a wagon to over the next 7 to 10 years, there were some recent trends. You've probably heard of those trends. You've probably heard about the increased awareness of nutrition and what we're not getting from the same foods we simply ate 2-3 years ago. I would say the battle, or maybe sometime the disingenuous conversation that people had about convincing people that supplementation is important is no longer here today. it's actually widely accepted. It's no longer, are you supplementing from what you're lacking? It's where are you supplementing? Where are you getting it from? Is it affordable? And can you actually tell a difference when you're on it or when you're not? Pretty simple. And those main topics, as you'll see later on, surrounded around the main buzzwords that many of us didn't really know much about, but we've had experience by seeing the experiences of others brought to us front and center with social media. We heard about the drastic lifestyle changes that people were making because of mental health. We heard about the drastic lifestyle changes people made with diets and elimination diets for gut health and inflammation. We heard about all these things. We heard the buzzword about CBD, but we didn't really understand from the business perspective that CBD wasn't even a quarter of what the revenue that would be created and the overall holistic approach of what full spectrum would encompass by adding it by default. We've heard these things. We've all seen and probably ingested, I don't know how many energy drinks the last decade. It's a booming industry, but no one really ever had the foresight and the vision to say, hey, look, instead of offering something or taking it away, people want it. Maybe we could educate them on a healthier alternative that they could still feel good, have it last throughout the entire day and not create the damage or the negative conversation with spouses, family, and friends, and actually attach a business side to it. We've all known since the inception of the internet that people would soon be having access to so much research and data that starting a business now is easier than it's ever been. And it's cheaper than it's ever been. All these things were swirling around as my partner and I started looking at it. As we started putting the pieces together, we got lucky. As many entrepreneurs took a serious look, and we've experienced some pretty substantial growth since 2017. Now, it's pretty awesome. As many of you guys know, I have the fortunate opportunity to actually have a good partner in business. The guy's been amazing from a business standpoint. He obviously knows the structuring of how the business world works, the risks of how the things work. Many of you who are obviously entrepreneurs or have friends, family, husbands who are professional sport, athletic fans. He played for the Raiders for some time. He won a couple Super Bowls. He then, as a retired athlete, went back to school to get an MBA in real estate development. I mean, he kind of has this fervor for success. As Frank and I know him, as he's golfed with us a lot, extremely competitive. The guy simply knows how to win, and he's very creative. And I actually ask a lot of people, if you had a partner who was in their 60s, would they be willing to take risks like Mr. Mark Wilson has? I find it hard to believe. It probably wouldn't be the case. And everyone talks about his humility. Everyone talks about the way that they make, he makes them feel in when they're around him and the cool things that he does. But I see him every day. I see him behind closed doors, and I see what he cares about the impact that we're making with people on the wellness side, the impact we're making in households with this pandemic on the financial side, but the genuine concern he has for our partners, which hopefully is you, and the reasons why we're so uber successful. Now, I talked to you a little bit about some of the things that we offer, some of those buzzwords. I'll get right to the point. For me, I needed something as a guy in my 30s. I've got 4 children. I'm fairly active. I work out 5-6 days a week. I try to be active with my children. I try to be active in my relationship with my spouse. I quickly caught on as being an entrepreneur and getting lucky a couple times. I found myself that I really wasn't able to perform at the level. And sometimes just from me as a perspective, as a business owner, maybe some of the people that I love the most got second fiddle to the energy that was left at the end of the day and not me at my best. From energy to play, energy to move around, energy to create experiences, but also simple conversation. For me, my journey with Q Sciences products came from the core. The main thing, the main staple of what the biggest return order is or reoccurring order is at our company that really kind of touches the main things. You got the mental health aspect, the supplementation that actually fuels your body, not with just vitamins, but the minerals that everyone needs, that you can tell when you're on, you're off it. You can actually tell a difference with soreness and inflammation and things of that nature with our Align product. And who on here probably would disagree with the fact gut health is super important? For me, this is where it started. That's why I actually renamed it the core. It was the foundation that I found myself little simple tweaks and changes as a business guy that I noticed in cognitive thinking, patience, being present in conversations. And those words came out of my wife's mouth after noticing a couple of different things. So from a business perspective, we're thinking, if this worked for us and we could get this around the world and we could make people impactful in their local markets and people wanted to reorder the product, there could be something conceptually here that was extremely lucrative. Now, in those buzzwords, many of you have obviously heard we have different departments where we use many of the pillars or the product portfolio to spin off other avenues of people and their interests, whether it's weight management, whether it's feeling your best, whether it's getting together with teams of people and having a transformation that's not involving your weight. Many things we do.
Behind you.
See, hey Frank, if you could just mute out everyone, and then just unmute me. Maybe I can.
I think you're gonna have to try it, dude. I can't find the option.
I got it. There we go. Now, moving on. Sorry about that, guys. Technology is crazy. I talked about that. Now, when I say perform, I want to let you guys know from a business side, my partner and I and our marketing team did not use the word perform to perform as an athlete. We did not use the word perform to go out there and perform on a dance floor or on a football field. We use the word perform for you to be able to show up professionally. To begin with at your job, as many of you will be mentored by myself and many of my colleagues that you're about to see at the end of this presentation, performing means being able to go out there and set a goal, accomplish the goal, and be able to see the business upside of having something on the side that you can build and something that matches the terminology and the theory about what we've all learned with what the internet's brought us. Now, these different stacks and things that we offer from the fitness side are all still bundled in the product portfolio. You can order off one-offs, but some people are really into that fitness world, as you've seen influencers and people who really thrive in that type of a setting. Whatever you like, it's great, but from a business perspective, why not offer all different gamuts and arenas, a way to capitalize on what you're offering around the world, because what e-commerce has obviously allowed us to do. In the top 3 reoccurring sales of our company, obviously because of ease, price point, and taste, are our oral sprays. Let's face it, the best way to get much needed nutrition into your body is an injection. Last time I checked, very few people have that ability to go to a doctor and get injections on a weekly basis. The second best way is actually orally sublingually into your tongue, because the absorption is extremely high. Some people, they may not like pills. But then again, we believe so much in supplementation and the income potential and what could happen for us as entrepreneurs if something could be reoccurring in the business world. We could not stop when we actually got our hands on these, and these have remained in the top 3 to 4 items being sold and purchased every single month. So let me fix this real fast too. Sorry, I did not set this up, so I'm just gonna clear the drawings off there, and then I'm gonna come up here. I gotta do options. Sorry guys, I hate to stop this, but gotta make sure. Sorry about that. I gotta figure out how to disable. There you go. Now for all you guys that want to draw on the screen, you can't. Sorry about that. Moving on to this next side on the business perspective of, oh man, this is crazy. Okay, bam. Everyone's heard the term CBD, but I gotta tell you something. On a business perspective, CBD is one of almost 13 things, or 13 additional cannabinoids and things that are available in full spectrum hemp. From a business perspective, we actually don't believe in marketing CBD, because CBD would be like you wanting to market Ferraris and Bentleys and Porsches or BMWs all over the world, and then you getting a Honda Civic. There's a huge benefit for what CBD can do. But that's just one of the things when you actually have a higher quality and something that offers much more than that one singular element that can happen. From the business side, what we've realized is there's many things that we needed to do to offer the general public from what the full spectrum hemp side can do. From a business investment side, by being able to offer full spectrum hemp, the delivery systems can vary. What is a delivery system? A delivery system is how you actually take up the full spectrum hemp, whether it's a gel that you apply to certain areas of your body for pain relief and discomfort, whether it's a cream, whether it's an ingestible, whether it's a tongue underneath your tongue, whether it's a spray, whether it's a powder to go in drinks and water to infuse water, whether it is also a gummy. When you start looking at the overall beneficial side of where the full spectrum hemp side is going to be projected to go globally, thinking that it's not even been open yet in many parts of Asia and Europe, the upside financially because of the multiple delivery systems that full spectrum hemp can offer completely trump that of CBD. And I think you'll like one of the 15 offerings that our full spectrum line has. Now, many of you will have the opportunity as partners of ours and entrepreneurs to meet one of our partners who is the gateway, and he's had quite the experience as a chief editor of WebMD for about 15 years, a doctor himself, and believes in technology. We didn't want to stand still and keep offering things that worked 25 years ago because most of us don't use our cell phones that worked 25 years ago. Mr. Dr. Stephen K is actually one of my personal friends. We're actually working on something together that we've been working on now for almost a year and a half that I'm so excited it's going to be huge in the male arena. Now, I'm not going to get into this detail because it's something that my counterparts in a male challenge that I'm launching will have first access to. But if you go in your car and you turn on the radio, there's two things that are plaguing males today. Whether it's the low testosterone levels or things are putting on lean muscle mass or the stomach area that we can't fight because we don't realize where our T levels are, or it could be something else. I'll say it, the performance area in the intimacy section. It is a huge booming industry, but not one that's been approached from something that's safe and not addictive. I'm excited to be able to talk about this because it's something that is trillions of dollars a year. And he believes in technology and being at the forefront of it. And many of you will be able to try this product and many more. In fact, this Friday we'll be releasing products. Next Friday we'll be releasing products. And in the month of November, there'll be almost 4 different product sets that this doctor here will be actually giving you guys to try that are cutting edge that no company has. You need to be offering things, guys, that no company has if you're looking for financial gain. You have to have something that sets yourself apart. Now, on the partnership side, those of you who are entrepreneurs, this is not a joke. I know you're going to think it's a joke because you're going to think that the decimal or the period or the dot is in the wrong spot. It is an initial investment of $40 to join the company. I know many of you who are on here, I've got texts of what your traditional businesses are like. I understand that probably wouldn't even replenish the coffee in your break room for the company that you actually own. But that's what gives you the initial investment to get started. It gives you the initial ambassador number for all the rights and privileges to all of our technology and all of the areas of where we do business. Whether you're getting customers in this country or the other 23 that we do business in, we ship, we provision, we do returns, we do legal, we do registration. All of that is encompassed in itself. In less than 3 months, we'll actually be opening up another facility in the Dutch Amsterdam marketplace. You will pay no additional fee when your global customers receive their products from your e-commerce site. We'll take care of that as well. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not saying it's not of value or making fun of people who may not even have the $40 because of the pandemic. But this is something why I need to explain because it did give me a chance at 21. However, now almost 41, I'll tell you that there are people who don't take it serious because it is a nominal fee to partner with us. Now, moving in before we hear from some other business owners as to why they've aligned themselves with this, the one thing I want to talk about is what we've put in place as entrepreneurs to partner with you as an entrepreneur to have return business. We actually have programs because there should be programs in today's world that retain your customers. Customer retention is actually huge because you get reoccurring partnered income when products are delivered to their door. Could you imagine right now, just think about this for a second. Could you imagine even getting 1/4% of every package that was delivered on people's doors on Amazon every 24 hours? Could you imagine how that would work? Well, in a smaller scale, that's simply what's happening now. As USPS and FedEx and mail and parcel companies around the world deliver your products for you to your customers, whether you know them or someone else knows them, we partner with you and we want to retain those customers. So what we allow those customers to do is we reward them for ordering products, and the more months that they consecutively order, the bigger the discount that they're going to get off those products and more free products that they get to actually try. We actually give them their own user face to make easy orders so they don't have to call you and contact you and bug you and do all those different things. In fact, I'll also tell you this. There is major news coming down the pipe for all of our preferred customers on any order that is a return order to eliminate all shipping costs at the first of the year. Stay tuned. Now, moving on to how we want to work together to earn commission. There's actually 3 different ways. The first way is really simple. In fact, today, about 6 hours ago, we enhanced this with a promotion to test the market to see exactly how beneficial it will be for you for simply sharing your experience about our products. The more you share, the more that people have the product, the more that they order from your store online. We fulfill. We do returns. We have the customer care lines. We have multiple languages that people can talk or chat with us. We take care of all those things. The cool thing for you is you now have an ability with the promo that we've offered to make anywhere from 25% all the way up to 110% on our promo right now off of what people are ordering for trying out our products. Now, every time after that, you might settle out between 25 and maybe even 50% off of what people are ordering every single month. If you don't want to introduce anyone to this opportunity and have a quote team as far as leverage goes, which we'll talk about, that's fine, because with what we have done to the company, it's very feasible to be able to make a couple $100 or a couple $1,000 by simply sharing about the experiences and letting us retain the customer and create the partnership before us, which makes the dynamic extremely explosive. The next one is actually our weekly bonuses or our weekly commissions. We'll talk about our weekly commissions first. This is simply the model where most people, let's face it, fail in business. I believe that the biggest risk in business is that people figure out one way to make money or for them to operate in that one location. They start penciling out the numbers, the risk to have location number 2, 3, or 4, and realize that the leverage or the capital that's expended out for someone to make more money and to really go big time far out exceeds the fear, or let's face it, the risk, and maybe even the common sense, this isn't for me. Mr. Frank Filipponi did a phenomenal job, personal friend, and said, we felt like we owned our business, but the reality was our business owned us. In my years as an entrepreneur from 21 years old now to 39 years old, I've had a couple bumps and bruises, but you know, I've gotten lucky a couple times. As people have come to myself or my wife, my partner, and they've wanted advice, it always comes down to this. It comes down to their ability to leverage systems, money, people, countries, locations. The weekly checks, the weekly commissions are powerful because this allows you to leverage other e-commerce stores online through your existing networks of people that you'll be introduced to. And as those orders are fulfilled by us, we send you a portion of those orders each and every month. And when those orders fall within the week that we send you a weekly check, not only for your potential customers that ordered that very week, but also the customers that have been acquired by people that you may or may not even know. The one-time rank bonuses are very simple. Based on your ability to learn, now up front, we'll be helping you and showing you systems how to do this, which promotes a very simple entrepreneur atmosphere where it can give you time leverage and give you your time back. Now, as you get going, your leadership ability may increase and it may not. But based on your leadership ability of leading people and showing them how to run the business, become better people, better versions of themselves, your bonuses are attached to how well you mentor others. So you will see sometimes the bonuses can be $50 a month, sometimes $100 a month. And sometimes you'll have the ability to meet other people in the company, and they have bonuses in the tens of thousands of dollars and even upwards of six figures in a year and even a month for helping a lot of people operate these e-commerce stores online. The financial freedom movement I'll talk about here in a second, but really put it into perspective before we have our first couple people come on here. It's really simple. I don't want to confuse you, but when you look in this bottom line, you can kind of easily see it says 3 orders and OV equals 100 each. All of this means is simple. If you had the ability to take your finger and cover up 2 zeros on every whole number, so 300, 600, 1500, 4500, if you covered up the last 2 numbers of that, you would have 369, 1545, 100, 250, 500. It's pretty simple, guys. Between you and your team, can you get 3 orders to be able to achieve the first earn position for having leveraged money or multiple locations? You'd receive the $50 bonus for doing that. You'd also receive, a $50 monthly check or weekly check and a $100 bonus. And that doesn't even include any customers that are shopping on your personal store. You can skip over to the executive spot. Between you and a grouping of people, could you have 15 orders a month? They would then capitalize for you to make $250, but also adding up all the bonuses, 100 plus 100 plus 3, that's $500 in bonus money. Not including the fact you could have personal people ordering on your personal store, making anywhere right now from 25 to 110% off of what people are ordering as products. Pretty amazing. These are the ranks right now that I'm most proud of as an owner, and I tell most entrepreneurs to focus on. People talk about timing, right? Timing of the health and wellness world, timing of the side gig, timing of having a plan B or a part-time business. Let me tell you what I believe is the biggest timing of all. It's dealt us the biggest blow and has become one of the biggest conversational pieces that the world has ever seen. You probably haven't gone a day in the last 2 years without having heard the word that starts with C, coronavirus. It's here. We're living with it. We're adapting. We're changing. We're growing. We're becoming better, and we're becoming stronger. But I'll tell you, sometimes some things that are perceived to be and can be our biggest negatives in the business world present the biggest challenge, which when a challenge is solved, a problem has a solution, incomes are made. See, I believe there's more people now looking to make money than there ever has been. There's a higher awareness that there's ever been about people with health and wellness. And that's why one of the reasons why we're doubling and tripling every 30 to 60 days. I believe the heightened awareness that now having something that you can do from home, like you are right now at your computer behind your desk. You may not be like me with a business shirt and basketball shorts on. It doesn't matter. But the reality is it's in your comfort of your own home, because the awareness level that many of us got sent home to work. Many of us watched our kids work from home. And many of us saw the proficiency, the ease, and the flexibility that we can do when we get creative. I believe the biggest timing play that we're experiencing that the world's ever seen has been because of one of the biggest issues that the world has ever seen. So what I want to do now is actually have our first testimonial come on. And I want him to actually talk about being a traditional business owner and what the pandemic dealt him, but also the solution that Q Sciences has brought him and the outcome of what's happening. I tried to get a hold of him before, so I'm sorry if I slaughtered your name. I believe it's Chris Grande or Grande. I'm going to come and find you, sir, in here. I'm going to, if you want to unmute, please, Chris.
Hey, Jake.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, so my wife and I are veterans. We served in the U.S. Navy together. It's actually where we met. And then when we got out, we decided what we wanted to do, and we were going to be real people. And I had a dream of being a photographer, so we opened up a commercial photography studio, and we've been running that photography studio for 12 years. But you know, when you're in the client service industry, you know, I'm required to see people. I have to see my clients. I have to work with my clients face to face. And when the pandemic happened, we were closed down. They shut us completely down for months. And that was $0 of income coming in, which what we were hoping and projecting to be one of our biggest years that we were going to have. so we had to figure out something to do. So, that's how we kind of got into the network marketing industry. We had to do something from home. We were stuck at home with nothing to do. I couldn't go to my studio. I couldn't see my clients. So we actually got into network marketing, actually with a previous company. And we did that for 2 years. And that allowed us to keep the lights on. It allowed us to not worry about what are we going to do? Are we going to have to shut our business down? And then we did that for 2 years. And then we were introduced to Q Sciences, and we fell in love with the culture here. We fell in love with the systems and the processes and the mentorship of the leaders that are here. And we've only been with Q Sciences for 2.5, 3 months. And I actually hit, you see the screen, that the Builder Pro executive, I hit executive in my first month. And one of the weeks of that month, I was actually on vacation, the first vacation I'd taken with my family in probably 2 or 3 years, due to this industry that allowed us to do that and not have to worry about our business. But I hit that executive in my first month due to the systems and the mentorship that this company offers. And that's huge. And that allows us to make sure that we can always pay the lease on our business, on our location, and have money and take vacations. And, as little, even in the first ranks, when you have, $50, $100, $250 a month, that's the difference between paying our lease. That's the difference of me being able to take a date night with my wife, and things like that. Those first few ranks are just as important as the big ranks where you're making 5-6 figures. So that's our experience with Q. We're super here. My goal is to hit elite this month, and then as soon as I hit that, run for bronze. And it's due to these systems that we have here, and I'm super grateful for Q, and I'm super honored to be sharing the stage with Jake and Frank today. And we fell in love with the products as well. So it's just such a great experience.
Congrats, man. That's awesome. I love those stories. And I love seeing, obviously, not only the success, but I can tell you're obviously excited. And it's shocking to see how many people just really don't have a lot of things to be excited about. Well, the one thing I want to talk about before we bring on the next person is one thing that we offer each and every one of you at the gates is access to our financial freedom movement, which is a team, a grouping of people, from people who are experts in taxes with small businesses, with people who are experts in credit, building, restoring, all those things, and actually setting up a plan for you to retire, obviously become debt-free, but savings and these different things became a passion of not just myself, but the main person herself, my wife, who's actually in the other room. We started realizing with people, as we started mentoring them over the last decade plus, we got pretty proficient, actually very proficient at helping people become better financially and more proficient in the business world. But the one thing that we couldn't do very well, because we didn't have the tools or the time, was to teach people what we were doing on the side or on the back end, to diversify, to make money off of money, to realize how the tax code was set up in each country, to take advantage of those things for entrepreneurs who are providing jobs and things for thousands of people all over the world. This became a passion of Sarah's for many years, over 20 years, and it's something that is a staple here in Q Sciences. Now, you're probably wondering why we're talking about it, because I believe it's one of the biggest pillars that many of you need right now, whether it's Q Sciences or not, is the financial intellect and the course, or maybe the help of a mentor or someone who can actually guide you and set pen to paper and create the plan. The person I'm going to bring on now has actually become a very great friend of ours as a family, him and his wife, and they've done tremendous things. In fact, recently hit a position in our company that now warrants over $15,000 a month. And as a traditional business owner, that's a pretty substantial chunk of change that you're adding to your bottom line each and every month, on top of your very successful business you already have in the Boise, Idaho marketplace. Not only have they been successful in the business as business owners here and there, but they've embraced this philosophy and set an example of what happens when you actually put the main thing. And watching this butterfly effect take shape and go out into their family and extended family to actually lift where you stand, so to speak, has been very inspiring. So Ben Bristow, buddy, I hope you're still on.
I am.
Awesome, sir.
So first and foremost, thank you very much. I'm actually that guy in that bottom left corner there, that handsome looking fellow who's looking at my wife. We are a Marine Corps family. As you can tell, my wife down there has actually perfected the knife hand. Thumb's a little wide, but no, so we did 14 years in the Marine Corps. Once I got out, I decided that I wanted to own my own business. I was tired of being somebody else's pawn in a bigger scheme. And so we opened up a CrossFit gym, and our day one of CrossFit was almost $45,000 to have our first day, to open our doors. That $45,000 went towards equipment because we have to have rowers and barbells and all sorts of stuff. And then on day one, you realize that you don't have a website yet. And if you want to have a website, that's another $3,000 to $5,000 for a good website that's going to get traction. There was no mentorship in place for us. We actually had to go out and actually learn how to do business. We're not business background people. I'm a simple person. I'm a Marine. I can blow stuff up and that's about it, right? So to learn how to do business, it took a good chunk of change to actually figure out what the heck to do, find the right people. Why are they successful? How are they successful? And because of this, we didn't even see a dime from our business, a decent dime, let's put it that way, for probably about 6 to 8 months later on to get even a paycheck towards anything. And we were going day by day, to be honest with you. Like, being in business for yourself is awesome, but at the same time, it comes with a lot of sacrifices. And so when we saw this opportunity and we saw that there was $40 to join a company that had a website, that had a plan, that had the right mentorship in place, it was kind of a no-brainer. We tried to do the franchise route with our gym, but we didn't want to cough up another $45,000 to $50,000 of money that we really just didn't have. And because of the systems we have in place right now, when we spent $40, we got that back within our first month of the business, right? Like, that was the initiation fee. That was also all of our stuff that we bought right away. We saw that return quickly. And to be able to actually get a paycheck within your first month of joining the business was absolutely incredible and unbelievable at the same time. And so fast forward to where we're at now, to say you just made $15,000 this month, that's more than we can pull in probably 2 or 3 months take home with no overhead. And that's something you just don't see in business world. Like, our gym, we bring in maybe $25K a month, but 15 of that goes out to rent and electricity and utilities and all the other stuff. And you're coming home with a decent amount, but it's still nothing compared to what we're doing here. So the opportunity that is out in front of us right now, like with earnings, is absolutely insane. And I just can't believe that now, that since we're at weekly pay, if you invest today, you can probably get that back by Friday. And that's so blows my mind as a business owner, that you can actually return your investment within 3 to 4 days of joining this company. So again, thank you guys very much. Jake, I appreciate you guys bringing me on. Frank, you look awesome tonight, and I'll talk to you guys later on.
Bro, do I not look awesome?
I think you look good too.
Okay, I was wondering, like, don't give him a compliment, bro. Like,
your hair's pretty dapper.
He's already short. Like, he doesn't need to. No.
I'll see you guys.
Right, let's keep going. You've also heard about systems. So let's think about this from an entrepreneur perspective. I love this part of the business, or the part of the piece, because A, we're almost finished, but B, it's where I can be extremely real. See, there's a difference. When I talk to someone who's an entrepreneur or a business owner or someone who wants to become one, their next steps are always, what are the next steps? What do I do? Tell me exactly. I'm doing it this way. I'm not going to prejudge or do those things. It'd be like some people coming and buying McDonald's, getting the 1,600 page manual before you went to McDonald's Hamburger University for 16 weeks, and then trying to tell them there's a better way. Think about that for a second. We have a way, we've got a proven way, and many organizations in our company will onboard and do exactly what needs to take place for you to win. Whether it's a couple hours a week, whether it's even a couple hours a day, we've taken a very simple approach to having systems that are accessible to the newest people, but leaders who are also accessible to the same people. Now, the thing that's going to happen is you're going to get connected into a group. Inside the group, they're probably going to get you connected to some social media platform where you have accessibility to communication. Some of that communication is going to come from us from corporate. Most of the communication is going to come from the mentors like you just saw, Chris and Frank, right? And Ben, and many people who are shaping the view of how you're going to be perceived. Yeah, that's important, because you don't want to be saying the wrong things, and you don't want to be thinking the wrong things, because then you say the wrong things. Those are really important things. You're going to have your questions answered, the preconceived ideas about what you should and shouldn't do. Well, should I talk about this or what? There could even be scripts you want. I actually needed scripts. That was many years ago. I was 21, but it worked for me. It sounded like I read them, but hey, they worked. Once again, we know how to make the burger. We just need more people making the burger the way we know how to make the burger, right? Now, to end this out, I want to tell you why I believe you're fortunate. One of the things that entrepreneurs love and they realize is having the ability for input. Input's one thing, creation and collaboration are two separate things. One thing you got to understand as an entrepreneur, a business owner, is you're not alone. And a lot of the businesses or ventures that I've been a part of, or I've looked at doing, or partners of mine who have other companies, the alone feeling can be extremely alone. What we decided to do in Q is a little different. Our quote board of directors are actually not the owners of the company. It's actually our top leaders. We have two separate boards. We view them as our advisory council, and the other one that you just saw is our equity council. If you're going to screenshot, don't take a screenshot of myself and Frank because we're so handsome. Take a screenshot of the names at the bottom of the page. As a leader and an owner in Q, I'll tell you, that should be your first question. How do I get in contact with these people? And you can see Frank over there. He's got his bow tie on. How do I get in contact with these people? What do I got to do to pick their brains? What I learned when I started being around the right people in my life is my life changed. Hard fact, but it was still a fact. They looked at different things, obviously looked at them differently. They talked about different things. They talked about things that I wasn't accustomed to talking about. They were aware of what they were putting in their bodies. They were aware of how they were treating people. It was just a different experience when I started to hang around people who had a common future, not just people who hung around because of a common past. I'm telling you, the biggest thing about the entrepreneur group that you're looking at are these are the people who are doing exactly what they're going to coach you to do. Could you imagine going out and digging a ditch? It's not very fun, is it? For those of you who actually have. And looking to the right or the left of you and actually seeing those people to your left and your right, not just telling you what to do and instructing you with proper form, actually shovel in hand, showing you and even helping you do what you do. I know it's actually a very simple analogy, but when other owners and other people try to talk to me about the secret sauce of Q, how are you guys growing so fast? How are you affording to pay people like you are? The secret sauce is actually on this page. It's these two groups. See, we respect them because they're doing their talk. They're talking to people every day. They know what's working and they know what people are looking for. And in a marketability factor, that's absolutely key. Because if you have a pulse on your consumer, you have a pulse on your business. I'm excited for you guys to get to know each and every one of them and work with them on an intimate level and see and test me to what I'm actually saying to you. I usually don't do these presentations anymore because they do them actually. They just come to me and hand off stuff for me to fix. But I'm super excited to be on here tonight. It was an honor. Thank you for joining us and thank you for joining Q Sciences. I cannot wait to meet you guys on our Monday lives at 12 p.m. or our next international convention where all of our partners will be getting together to get trained and plan for all of 22. And that will be held in Salt Lake City in February. Thank you for joining us tonight.